1-6. We are Anisha, because there's no we. It's only me.
1-6. We are
A16,
2023,
Ashaun and Anisha.
Woo! So guys, today we're going to be discussing a murder mystery. Woo! But before we get started into the video, by the way, this is going to be a really chill, interesting podcast.
Yeah.
Mystery podcast.
So I'm going to go ahead and explain the setup as usual. So we have our cups, water, where we're going to pour the water inside the cups, our computers for, like looking information up. This is going to come very in handy for the video. This is all my notes and my details about the murder. Of course, the good time vibe and the curtains.
Woo!
Okay, so then I'm just going to go ahead and explain all the social medias as per usual. We have an Instagram, we have a Spotify, we have a website, a YouTube. If you're watching this, like and subscribe. We have an Audible, we have Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, and we also have a business email. So if you have any concerns or video suggestions, hit us up in our email.
Ooh.
Thank you.
So let's get started with the podcast.
Let me just...
So this podcast is about a girl named Hay, and she was murdered at Woodlawn. Well, she used to go to this school called Woodlawn High School, and she was murdered by allegedly either her boyfriend or her boyfriend's friend. So this case is really good. If you want to learn more about this case, go ahead and go to Google, Safari, Bing, whatever site you use, and you can go ahead and type in "who killed Hay," and you'll find it.
So guys, we're just pretty much gonna just like run down our theories and who we assume murdered her, and we're just gonna give you all the details, all the background info, everything we need to know. So okay guys, so the people involved in this murder was Heyman Lee, aka the victim, Adnan, the supposed killer, the one that got jailed, and Jay Wilds, a next possible suspect, aka his best friend. January 13, 1999, Hay was to pick up her cousin from daycare at 3:15, but never came, and that kind of made a lot of people suspicious because she was one to always be like, here you go, I'm picking him up, done. So she did date Sid, of course, but this was in secret due to like religious differences, as she was like an Asian American. But they broke up, but continuously kept in contact. So basically, around the time of the murder, the school ended at 2:15, and it was supposed that Sid planned the murder and can be tracked to the morning of January 13th, aka the murder day. So after driving Wells to the mall, Sid left him with his phone in the car, later asking him to get him at Best Buy, where he finds him next to Lee's car. Lee's body was supposedly in the trunk. Wiles then drives Sid to the practice and helps him bury Lee's body in Leakin Park and ditch Lee's car later that night. Wild's story keeps changing, which is why I think he's very suspicious. And pretty much Asia McLean, aka a classmate, had claimed to be talking to Sid at the library at the time of the murder.
Ooh. So that is basically the starters.
The starter.
Now, I actually did this whole lesson in school, and I wrote an essay about it. So I will be reading the essay here. So before we get started, there is a podcast called Serial, and this kind of what blew up the murder, kind of what blew up everything. By the way, this murder happened back in 1999, and a girl named Sarah Koenig dedicated to this, and I'm just going to be reading it off. There's also a whole bunch of call logs and stuff that goes into this. So in the podcast story, Serial by Koenig, both Adnan and Jay are guilty. It is evident that they both worked together to help kill Hay. Now, to begin, Adnan and Jay were both guilty Reason being is because they were caught up being in the same location around the same time during, before, and or after Hayes' death. And they both lied about it. According to call log number 5, Jay was at Best Buy around 2:36 p.m. According to Jay, during a police interview, Adnan called him and told him to go get him because he had just killed Hay. Later, around 4:27 p.m. on a call log number 12, we see that Adnan is at Jay's house, possibly where they are getting the shovels to bury Hay. We know they used Jay's shovels because during Jay's interview with the police, Jay states that they used shovels to help bury the body. Another reason why I think Adnan and Jay are both guilty is because they both lied throughout the story about their whereabouts. Furthermore, during the interview, Jay stated, and by the way, this is a police interview, Jay stated that he figured out that there was cameras and they didn't want him to see him on the cameras. So he told them not to look at Best Buy so then it wouldn't seem like they're, looking at the cameras. Now, think of this. If Jay didn't kill Hay, why would he be afraid for the police to look at the cameras if he didn't kill her? Yeah. If he didn't kill her, then he shouldn't care if they look at the cameras or not because he's not the one going to get in trouble. So he has a whole conversation with the interviewer. Adnan was also lying because in call log number 8, Namisha called Jay's phone for a call length of 2 minutes plus. Keep in mind, this girl, Namisha, is Adnan's best friend. Yes. Jay doesn't know Namisha. Prior to this, Jay stated that in the story that he was at track practice around this time, and this is around the time of the kill. Yeah. So if he was at track practice, why is Jay having a 2-minute call with Namisha? Exactly. This could mean that Adnan was with Jay the whole time, using Jay's phone to call Namisha.
Because again, he left his phone inside the car. So
a lot of people tend to think that it was just Jay who killed Hay alone, but Adnan seems to pick and choose when he wants to remember the day she gets killed. Also, he seems to raise suspicion with shady emotion. To explain, in the serial podcast by Sarah Koenig, Adnan was at Kathy's house, right? And this girl named Kathy, we don't really know much about her. She's not really important. But just know he was at this girl named Kathy's house. The cops called, and he was panicking because he was like, what do I say? What do I do? Like, he was all over the place, right?
Very frantic.
If he didn't kill Hay, which he testified that he didn't kill Hay, then why would he be scared that the cops was gonna call him? So that's just the essay that I put together. There's also more to the essay. I just don't have to read it all. But yeah, so in my opinion, I do think that Adnan killed Hay, but I think that Jay had everything to do with the killing.
Obviously, I think the exact same thing. Adnan committed the murder. He probably even warned Jay about the murder, and which is why they premeditated everything, got the shovels prepared, the glove, everything. They just have everything prepared.
So guys, leave in the comment down below. Go and look at the case. It's a really good, interesting case. It has never been solved. It's never been unleashed. Hopefully, it could be years later. But go ahead and comment down below. Who do you think killed Hay? And if you don't know the case, go ahead and look it up. Just type in who killed Hay, and you'll see articles and a whole bunch of stuff.
The podcast, everything.
Yes, everything. And I do advise you listen to Sierra's podcast. It's a really, really good podcast. Yes. Sierra's podcast is called Serial.
And also, guys, if you guys didn't know, Adnan did actually get released from prison after being sentenced life in possibility of parole after 30 years. He was released 20 something. Yeah, I think it was about 25 years later. 2022. So that's very interesting to me.
We got released in 2022.
Yeah, because he was wrongfully. They when they went back to look at the evidence, they realized that he really wasn't he didn't really have any prior solid evidence to go with his cause in the murder. So it was a wrongful conviction, and they released him.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Really love you guys so much. Comment down below if you guys want us to do any more murder mystery podcasts, things like that, and because it was really fun. Really love you guys so much, and peace out. Bye.